Okay, guys, I want to discuss Snapchat real quick. The biggest reason I think it's a buy, we broke out of this range between 20 and 10. We've been looking for that. It's been in this range for 2 years, from 2018 to current, back and forth between 20 and 10. So now we've got a break of the 21 mark, which was huge. You can see at the white line there, we've broke above that and we've held and we've closed. You can see the RSI 80 is getting a little frothy. The MACD has made its curl. It's made a nice move up. I would be adding on any pullback here because Snap's going to run with the market. The market's looking to head higher. Tech stocks are going to head higher. So I'm looking for this to make a move to 23, 24 in the short term. This is a swing trade. I would be adding on dips right here. You'll probably see a little bit of a pullback and get a nice entry back to 21 sometime soon, maybe next week. Right now, it's not a buy. If you weren't in Snap last week and buying calls then, I wouldn't recommend getting in it now. I would wait for a pullback, but I think Snap is going to 23, 24 in the near term. This is why I bought the 24 calls for July 17th, and I'll be adding on any dip. Like I said, the RSI is getting a little frothy. We're getting near 80. We're seeing a curl on the MACD, getting a little high on the MACD too. So those are my indicators. I like to use the MACD. I like to use the RSI. We broke out of the resistance at 21. So that was a huge indicator for me that this thing is super bullish and wants to head higher. Price targets are being raised. I've seen price targets as high as 25. The consensus on Wall Street is 19. So I think the stock will outperform its price target, and analysts will continue to raise price targets on Snap. Looking for a pullback to add though. Right here, I'm not buying. You kind of missed the move from 20 to 22 right now. I think we're heading to 24 in the short term. That's why I'm buying calls right now, and I'm adding to my position on any dip. Again, I like the July 17th calls. You guys can play the August calls. I don't really like to play the weekly or the daily calls. It's just a little too risky for my taste. I like to play calls that are a little further on the time horizon. That's why I like to play the monthlies a month out. Now I have to be glued to my screen watching every micro move on the screen, and it helps me to be able to reduce my downside risk. And I always keep a mental stop loss. I won't lose more than 30% on an options trade. That's my mental stop loss. But don't choke your positions to death, right? Don't be stopping out at 10%, 15, even 20, 25 to 30% losses as much as I can stomach. I don't play for anything less than that. If I lose 25%, I'm out. I'll look to repurchase lower if I like the trade. If not, I'll just move on. So Snap's a good play. I think it's going higher. It's getting a little frothy up here at the top. If you weren't buying calls around 20, you probably need to wait for a pullback, in my opinion.